Right, great, 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 great. Hello, hello, good morning. It's morning here in Ghana, and then probably
Bro,
wherever you are.
hold on, sir. You
Okay.
see, it has already been on record. Like we've been recording since we joined. So I still see that
That
on my
was
screen.
that was my AI, my
Or is
AI
it
note,
AI? Oh,
AI
okay,
note
nothing.
taker. So it was not a
Uh-huh.
video recorder.
But
So
this
that's
time
the
I
reason.
didn't get that recording started. That sound.
Yeah, because the AI is already
Um,
that's
yeah,
why.
I just wanted us to be sure before things
Uh,
break. This
yeah, it's been big. It's
it's
on the slide
very
today. You will be
this
reading
is
that one as well.
uh-huh.
Right. So whatever you are catching us from, we'll kick start uh, with the Catalyst official video, which is something that some of us are familiar with. Very important to start with. So let's listen once again.
Project Catalyst puts community at the heart of Cardano's future. It's a place where everyone can play a role to help solve real-world challenges. A global network that turns ideas into impactful projects. With millions of ADA available in grants to build solutions and make change together. Got an idea? It all starts with a proposal. Anybody in the community can pitch an idea by submitting a proposal via the Catalyst platform. Project proposals are reviewed by the community. This is where ideas get turned into action plans. Anybody can offer feedback on project proposals. And community members also get rewarded in ADA for giving their opinion on how well proposals demonstrate their impact, feasibility, and value for money. It's the community who decides which projects to fund. Votes are cast using the Project Catalyst voting app. Anybody can register to vote using a supported Cardano wallet. Voting rounds preserve privacy and are fully auditable, with snapshots of the ledger published regularly. And when voting closes, the community-approved projects can start working towards their innovation goals. Projects are accountable to the community. When they reach milestones, the community verifies that they have delivered on their goals before more funds are released. Join Project Catalyst now to co-create solutions that matter for a future you believe in. Learn more at projectcatalyst.io.
Then Project Catalyst now, and you can also learn more at projectcatalyst.io. Uh, okay. Please confirm for me if you can see my slides.
Yeah, it shows. I can see the slide.
Great. So this is something that we'll be presenting, and it is not new to a lot of us, but it is also new. Why this is important is that we realize that, or we know that Catalyst is moving away from the previous platform that we normally used to submit or used to carry on the project entirely. That is Project Catalyst on idea scale. Now Catalyst has its own platform, that is the project Catalyst.io, alongside with the Catalyst app, where we are going to have this project proposal submission, committee reviews, moderation, as well as voting. So those who have been participating and voting in the ecosystem probably will be aware of this thing. So Mohammed Mustafa will take us through what this is all about, and then probably we'll also look at the new changes or new things that are going to be launched or announced. Very important because we always realize that Africa has always getting a lot of challenges when it comes to catalyst new initiatives. We could learn from the due diligence implemented in Fund 13. It is something that we have been discussing behind the scenes because of this catalyst Fund 14. There's something called keychain. We'll get to that one, how we are going to participate and then make sure our members are not prevented or discouraged or dysfunctional from participating. So we are going to have this session in 2 days, today and tomorrow. This morning we are having it tomorrow night. We'll have it as well. So those who are not able to join will possibly join. So it's going to be a repeated version. But if there's anything here we are not able to explain, we'll carry it on to tomorrow and then do that. So probably uh, if you can see. So it's going to be presented by Mohammed Mustafa, as I mentioned, and then Muhammad Said. Mohammed Mustafa will take us to let us know who he is. Probably a lot of us know who he is, but he will just give us a brief info before we start. So Mohammed Mustafa will take us to.
All right, so thank you, Saido, for that very much. GM Cardano. In fact, GM, I learned that from our last developer session at Accra, IIH, when they were greeting GM. I thought it was good morning.
Yeah,
Until
GM
when I
at 12
asked,
o'clock.
yeah, in fact, and so when the guy came to greet GM at 12 noon, so I said, no, I have to ask what GM is. I don't know if GM is get money. So GM, Cardano, get money, Cardano. I mean, all of us are here to not just get money, but at least solve problems, right? To address issues that are confronted us, not just in Africa or in Ghana, but across the world. So if you find yourself here, it means you are someone who believes that blockchain can really solve a lot of challenges in the world. And of course, not just blockchain, but Cardano. Some of you have been with us since Cardano Ghana started. And as you may know, this is basically about Catalyst. And since the last fund round, Fund 13 ended, although it still runs, but there are projects. If I say ended, I mean the voting period or the proposing period. Since when it was closed, there has been a lot of downtime in terms of background works, behind the scenes activities being done by the community. And it's over 5 months now. And the community has been asking a lot of people when again should we expect the next funding round launch, when, and the big answer was provided last Wednesday, 23rd July. So we just here to run through the same details and activities and what we should all expect, because there are several new initiatives and new changes that have been done onto the platform. And so as Siri mentioned, basically this is what we should expect from this session, to once again walk through the Fund 14 launch and look out for some of the activities that we should expect in almost all the criteria of the funding round, from proposing to review to voting to checks on board. So welcome on board, and we are happy again to start these conversations. You said I should tell them about me, though most of you know. So Mohammed Mustafa Yakuba is the co-founder of Cardano Ghana community, and also a Cardano ambassador in charge of hosting meetups and creating content, as well as just managing community in Ghana here, and working with other ambassadors to make sure that Cardano goes to the length and breadth of Ghana in Africa. So that's basically why I work closely with Signu and some other community members that are even not in Ghana. Because that's what we stand for. This ecosystem has brought us so close together for us to network, collaborate, and leverage each other's potential so that we can ideate and solve real world problems using blockchain. So this is where I'll end, and of course, maybe then one newbie will read the welcome to experiment statement, and we make progress. Thank you.
So I think we're gonna read the welcome to experiment. This is something that we normally do in the Project Catalyst Town Hall. Raise your hand. Okay, I will just nominate one person to do that.
Who wants to read? Let's see whether someone would hand up.
Okay, Razak hand up. Okay, so take us to the welcome to experiment slide. Read it.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. Please, I hope
Sure,
I
we
am
can hear
audible
you.
enough.
We can hear you
Yes.
loud and clear. Yeah.
So, welcome to the Cardano experiment. And what we are going to be looking at is since that things may break, lack documentation, differ greatly between iterations, disorient, overload, and inspire. And the goal is to provide a safe and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential of human collaboration.
Thank you, thank you. You have it there. So I think that Mustafa has to comment on this, what this means to us, or what this means to the Cardano ecosystem, or particularly the Catalyst community.
Yeah, these things may break. This is an experiment, and this is a tech experiment. And as we work, we could face internet hitches. We can face coding bugs. We can face lots of challenges in terms of internet infrastructure. And so that's what we should have in mind as we walk through this experiment. Some documentations may have, some omissions. And so when this happens, of course, we are human beings, and we always have to make amends in terms of our errors. Differ created between iterations. And so, yeah, things can overwhelm us, and there could be some differences in the experiment. And so we all have to actually, that's why we are a community, listening to each other's view and find ways of addressing our disparities. So there could be overload, there could be disorientation, but that shouldn't stop us. It should be able to inspire us so that we can make progress. And basically, the experiment is to provide us a safe and lively place for us to explore the highest potential of human interactions and collaboration.
Yes, yes. So I think what I'll just add to this is that once we are participating in Project Catalyst, this is the welcoming statement that we normally have every week. Once we remind ourselves that Catalyst is not perfect, probably you might not meet your expectations. If your expectations are not met, doesn't mean that someone is hunting you or someone is working against you. The goal remains to provide a safe and lively environment for you to explore higher potential of human collaboration. So if you submit a proposal, if the proposal didn't go through, please try again. You get the inspiration there, adjust the feedback we receive from community reviewers and submit. If you participate in community reviews and probably you didn't get your awards, probably the moderators were flagged or your reviews were flagged, don't be discouraged, come again. Or if you also vote and you didn't get your voting awards, that doesn't mean that probably your voting power didn't count. It counts only that it was not up to an amount that is supposed to be rewarded. So probably these are some of the things that we normally pick to or to declare that Catalyst is not perfect. Catalyst is here to serve. So just be patient with us, and then things will break. That's what Mustafa may mention. The dates may change and everything. We get to know more as we proceed. So Mustafa, you continue with your slide as I take for you.
Next. All right, so what's Project Catalyst? The largest, for now, we can say it's Project Catalyst is the largest innovation engine on Cardano. And Cardano happens to be the third tech generation blockchain, houses the community. But community is the backbone of every blockchain ecosystem. And so we want to know how can we support the community in order to help the chain, in order to help the technology grow. And so people or organizations that are on the Cardano community, they have ideas that they can bring on board that will help make Cardano better. And what happens is that there's a lot of allocation of money that are made available, decided by the community leaders and everyone in the community that has the voting power to decide what amount of money should go out. So once you ideate your concepts, you bring them on board, and the community reviews that. So after innovation, we need to pass through what we call the governance. Governance involves the review processes, the voting processes. The community has that power, that voice, in order to criticize your proposals constructively and positively, and make amends, so that you can take the feedback from the community on your idea to shape them. Either you shape them before the closure of proposal submission, or you shape them and send and resubmit in the next funding round. And so after the review, governance process takes over, which is the voting processes. And they judge your proposals, and then proposals are shortlisted and selected and have been given funding. And thereafter, execution stage comes in, where proposals are onboarded and given the right criteria and processes regarding what they can do to execute their ideas. So you innovate, there's governance, there's execution. And we all work around this treasury that is available. And so thanks to everyone. Proposers, you can propose. And when you propose, it means you are a builder, because you are a builder, either a tech builder or a non-tech builder. You can build apps, you can build smart contracts, you can educate people, you can manage community. You're also a builder. The doers, the corporate institution, the enterprises that are on board to help Cardano grow. The DREPs, delegated representatives that are having their 500 plus either at stake to help sure that things progress. So hold on a bit. Good. Yeah, so we have organizers, we have leakers, we have working groups, verifiers, mentors. But yeah, some of you are mentors. You mentor others, you introduce them, you give them coaching so that they can excel in diverse ways in the ecosystem. Voters to decide on which projects should get funded. Then thank you as well as a community member for just making time with the ecosystem. You are helping to make Catalyst happen and make Cardano grow. So let's look at the next. So why should you participate? You should participate because you want to interact. One, you want to get funding for what you love building. So either you want to build a decentralized application, you want to build like a voting app to make voting better, to make voting processes accountable. You want to build a solution, smart contract that is going to help the land industry or help the e-commerce sector in order for people to track their products and services that are running on the value chain or on the supply chain. Or you just want to bring people together and educate them about Cardano, educate them about blockchain, and why there's the need for us to adapt and embrace blockchain for us to be able to address the economic gaps that are facing us in Ghana and beyond. You want to learn and grow because there's enormous resources. Learning materials are made available. There are sessions, learning webinars that are available free for you. We have the Cardano Academy where you can hop on and learn. You can grow in the network by collaborating with others. Build a reputation. As you review, as you propose, and you execute projects, your reputation is at stake. You know, you and I knows that this world is now facing the problem of trust and integrity. And so when you find yourself among this community or experiment, it gives you that goodwill so that you can stand out among your peers and your groups. You build something impactful and meaningful. Yes, you are addressing challenges. People want to learn about Cardano and you are educating them. That's a solution. People want a platform where they can actually publish their financial records, where they can track their goods and services. People want a free platform where they can manage their own funds. They can send money from their pockets or from their wallets to their third parties at wherever they find themselves without any borders. They want it to be seamless. They want it to be borderless and not stressful and not costly. So when you are bringing all these solutions, you are making an impactful solution in the world. You want to make history. Yes. Some of us here were part of the process to bring in the Cardano Constitution to life. It was history that we made, and it will continue to remain a footprint even after us here in the world. You want to interact with other amazing community members. We are from diverse backgrounds, different countries, different regions, different continents, and you can make friends, interact with people, adapt each other's cultural diversities, and then be inclusive in the process so that you can even appreciate God's creation and appreciate the individual talents that people come to the experiment to bring, people who are bringing on board onto this experiment. So the network, funding network, these are some numbers. Look at Africa, project count, over about 100 projects have been implemented so far in Africa. Asia, 284, Europe, 473, North America, 338, Oceania, 33, and South America, 14. And so currently Europe has the highest numbers, and over 293 million ADA have been allocated so far, with 234 distributed. Total forecast, you can see the numbers. Over 9,000 proposals have been voted on, and 2,000 plus funded projects have been funded. And then there are 1,342 completed projects with 749 active projects. So that there's been an enormous growth. It's been an enormous growth. You can see the continental breakdown. How can you participate? How can you participate in this experiment? You can propose. you can propose, be among the 91 countries. And if your country is not part, then be the person to bring your country on board. You identify a problem around you that can make Cardano better, that you think this problem can be addressed using Cardano. Whether it is advocacy, whether it is governance issue in Ghana, whether it is climate change, whether it is solution that you want, whatever the case, and you feel that this problem can be addressed using Cardano blockchain, we want you to bring that on board. A case, an idea out of that, and then you can propose. Be among the 2,000, as 2,000 plus funded projects, and then
So for your network.
So for one way you can participate in proposal. It breaks, right? It stabilizes. Now you can be a voter.
Okay. It can be a voter, Mustafa. I don't know your network.
Wallet. It breaks, right?
It's breaking now.
It's better.
Yeah, okay, it's now getting better here. Can continue with the voter.
Break, but so you can be a voter if you don't be a proposer. You can be a voter to the ecosystem, and that will enable you to decide which projects or proposals get funded from the community. So over 23,000 unique wallets have participated in the past 7 rounds up to date, and over 3 million ADA would cast. And so with 25 ADA plus in your wallet, you can decide which projects get funded, and that determines your voting power. So your vote is your power in the ecosystem. So proposer, voters rule. Let's see the next role that one can participate in. Yes, this is the governance part. You can help to shape ideas better. Constructively criticize proposals that have been submitted by evaluating them and scoring them based on impact, feasibility, and value for money criteria, while giving them reasonable feedback or reasonable reasons why you think so, why you are rating them on a 1 to 5 scale, where 1 is poor and then 5 is excellent. So you indicate reasons for each of your ratings on individual proposals, and then you get rewarded out of that. You can moderate. Catalyst now runs a Catalyst milestone model where proposals go through the moderation level. So flagging, after all community reviewers are done with their work, community moderators will then have to flag some of the reviews that have been gone well, and then also accept some reviews that have passed the criteria in order to be eligible for review and for rewards. So that's another role you can play in the ecosystem. And so to hammer more on community review, we have 3 levels: level 0, level 1, and then level 2, where level 2 are the moderators or the veterans, and level 1 are the experienced reviewers. With level 0 are the entry-level reviewers or newbies that are just coming. Either it's your first experience or an inactive community reviewer. Because some people may be in the community for about 3-4 years, but they've not been able to actually do a lot of work, and so they will not be promoted to either level 1 or level 2. So that's basically, for those of you who are level 0 and level 1, we expect that you are. And the
milestones.
Milestones. They assess the milestones. Every project will have to.
Right, I think Mustafa, this thing is breaking, and then it's always up.
Once the enable that will. Yeah, Prof, if you want to come over.
No, I think you finish
one.
this one, and then I'll take what is new in fund. I'll continue from what is
Okay.
new in
Okay,
important.
all
So
right.
you just finish this one, and then you comment on milestone
Right.
reviewers, and then end with this one.
Okay. So let's go back. Ecosystem rules breakdown. Yeah, so milestone reviewers, most of them are level 2 reviewers, and most of them are Cardano ambassadors like myself. So every time Cardano ambassadors are invited to participate as milestone reviewers, MRs. And all these rules have rewards. And these are the rewards breakdown. 2.5 of the allocated budget, 2.5% will go into the voter rewards, with 2.5% out of, let's say, 500,000 ADA will go to level 0 and level 1 reviewers. Then for 0.4% goes to community moderators, with milestone program rewards, about 1.6% of the 320,000 ADA allocated as rewards, and the total rewards is 7% of the 1,400,000 rewards that goes. Budgets that are made available for rewards. And so you are not just learning, you are not just building, but you are also rewarded for your efforts. That's how beautiful Catalyst ecosystem is. Happy, and I'm sure I'm able to inspire you. I'm able to convince you enough to stay with Catalyst, and even invite your friends and family and your networks to help shape Cardano. Thank you very much.
Right, Christopher, thank you very much for that. I don't know whether my audio is also loud.
Yes.
Great. So
We can hear you loud and clear.
thank you. I will just go back and comment on this ecosystem breakdown, in a sense that we'll get to that in a bit. We used to have 50 million in ADA for this funding round, so it has been slashed down by 60%. Let me just say from 60% to 200 to 20 million. So that means that all these rules has also been affected. So that is why you will see that we now have 500,000 for voters as well as community reviewers, and then to 80,000 for community moderators, and then the milestone reviewers. Everything has been slashed down by 60%. So that means that our rewards for community reviews will be affected as well as voting. And probably if you are a proposer, the amount that you used to request will not be something that you will be able to do. That one to also be slashed down. So we are now just going to look at what is new in Project Catalyst. Very important for us is that anytime there's new changes into Catalyst, and then we don't try our possible to amplify that to our members, they end up being affected or being dysfunctionalized on participating in Catalyst. So we are taking lessons from due diligence. Though a lot of our people were able to go through better, I think the full country was affected due to the implementation of a new thing in Catalyst. So this one is that what is new here is that Catalyst has moved from idea scale to its own platform known as the Catalyst app. That is why it is being called from integrated in the projectcatalyst.io website. And what happened now is that is where we are going to do the registration. And the registration is something that is very important for us to take our time and complete before we can participate. If you are not be able to complete your registration, that will be something that might hinder your chances of participating, either as a committee reviewer or a proposer. So let's take note of that, and then we'll look on to that if we get there. I made mention of the 20 million ADA. That is what we are having now. And then the fund 14 also come 20 million ADA, and then fund 15 and 16 as well. So now we are just a brief on some of the categories that we are having. Just like in Fund 13, we are having for challenge, same as this. The ecosystem is known for the grassroots community members, those who want to advocate, promote Cardano, either in education, marketing, or any other form that they want to propose to ensure that it is not a technical proposal that goes into the ecosystem. Unlike previously, the maximum amount here is now 60,000 in ADA. So you have between 15,000 to 60,000 minimum. Your budget should be 15,000, and then your maximum should be what? 60,000. So this is just a bit of the ecosystem. We will share in the links, or you could just go to projectgather.io and then have that for yourself. So no software or hardware development, no backward implementing or irrelevant to Cardano, no clear target or KPI. This KPIs is something that is also new in the Catalyst ecosystem. In as much as you are a proposer, you are supposed to submit at least one KPI to your project. So try your possible if you are drafting your proposal, make sure that it have at least one KPI. It's another key requirement. The developer category also come with a 3.1 million in ADA, and then the maximum amount here has also been slashed down to 100,000. So from 15,000 to 100,000 that you are allowed to do that. Open source licensing of project output is what is required. You cannot submit your project or under the developer, which is closed source. Open source is a key requirement here. Clear statement of your open source licensing as well as open source output from project start. So open source is now something that ecosystem is taking much time and attention to. Even CF is also doing that. So please take note if you're a developer, if you want to submit on the developer category, your project should be open source so that other ecosystem or other developer can also contribute to your code. So use cases or concepts. If you have an idea, unlike other ecosystems, for Cardano, you could submit under the concept category, whether it's MVP or zero prototype. So try your possible best to submit under this category. To propose fresh idea that hasn't been funded yet. So you can submit into this, produce a working on-chain prototype or MVP so that people can validate, and then you'll be given the funds to do that. So what this category will not fund is that no existing Cardano product. So you take note of that. No info, only website and then content. Sometimes people will just set only content or info as that. No more metrics. So this is just that. Partners and product. Product used to have its own category, but now it's been made with partners. About 8.5 million is available for these people to grant. So we having all this at your disposal. For Mustafa, if you can admit the okay, I'm admitting them. Right. Okay.
I don't see new request.
Okay. Okay, I think I've now added them. So now, so the comments here, I like, okay. Musa, you take this one, so I'll take the roadmap. Maybe your network is now better. So, unlike other ecosystems or the previous funding round, we could submit as maximum number of proposals that we have. But now, individuals have to submit up to 6 proposals per person. So you cannot submit more than 6 proposals. We remember, was it in Fantem, Mustafa? This guy, when he came and submit about, was it 10 or how many proposals did the person,
around 9,
yeah, he just came in and ambushed the ecosystem with a lot of proposals. So take note of this. This is something that which is new. Sales proposal per person. Quadratic voting. Catalyst has keep on evolving the voting mechanism from removing the down voting to now quadratic voting, where one person cannot just come and determine who get funded. So it is not going to happen. We saw that in Fund 13, where CF voted, and then it was something that the committee was not happy with. So they are now implementing quadratic voting. Probably if you want to learn more, go search about that one. Also available in the project.io. Now, those who are able to fortunate to do committee to be moderators, the moderation was having its own platform, unlike the committee review. So now committee reviews and moderation will now be on the same platform. So that is why this registration to the Catalyst app is very important. So for proposal, leftover funding will also be given as well. So these are some of the things that you should just take note. So now the Catalyst keychain, this is where I'll comment, and then probably Mustafa will take us through the roadmap of it. So then this Catalyst keychain is that just like when you are creating a wallet, you'll be given something called a recovery phrase, right? We have all gone past that one or through that one. So the email that you use or you are using an IDS key, please take note. If you don't have access to this email and you want to use different email into the onboarding to the new Catalyst platform, it means that your rewards or your participation or reputation will be slashed down. It will be affected. So make sure you use the same email that you use in IDS key into this new Catalyst platform. So with that one, they will be able to track and then determine your roles. If you are level 1, you will not be affected. If you are level 2, you will not be affected. If you are also a milestone reviewer, you will not be affected. You will still be given your role. So you have to do this. We are still waiting for the demo guide, probably which is expected to be released on Monday. But what we know is that you need 2 devices to do that. So if you don't have laptop, probably you need one to be able to get that done because you have to connect your wallet. And then connecting your wallet to that app is something that you need 2 devices to be able to do that. For please, let's try our possible best and then do this, and then get ourselves registered. And once you also register with the platform, you have to register as a community reviewer or a proposer, right? So if you are registered as a community reviewer, a transaction will come to your wallet, you confirm. So you enter your password, confirm that you really want to be a community reviewer. And then if you also submitting a proposal, a transaction will come. If you register as a proposer, transaction will come to your wallet. You can also confirm, and then probably that also shows that you want to be a proposer. So please take note of this. The wallets are not just meant for receiving and sending of data alone. It has a lot of uses, and this is one of the use cases that have been implemented. So now, and then you have to do that with a Cardano native wallet, either your Eternal, Fleece, Daedalus, or any other Cardano native wallet that you have to do that with. So please, let's get ourselves ready and register. You know, even in Catalyst from 14, community reviews as a criteria, it has requirements. You have to meet this requirement. And what are some of these requirements? Your reputation, as we may mention, is something that will have a key, play a key role for you to be selected to be a community reviewer. And then another thing is how active you are. And one of the things that they use to determine your activity in the ecosystem is probably the number of reviews that you always, proposal you always review anytime the allocation is given to you. If you are level 1 and then you are allocated 30 in the previous funding round and you always review 10 or 15, it is affecting your activity. And then probably how often you also register to become a community reviewer. So that means that probably first come, first serve will be used to determine those who participate in community reviews. The Catalyst team has made it clear that they don't need 1,000 reviewers, they don't need 2,000, 10,000 community reviewers. So definitely, some people will definitely will be cut off. So in order for you not to be affected, try your possible Monday, 28th of July, community review registration will commence. So once it commences, try your possible best. If you are not able to register on Monday, latest by Tuesday, register so that you'll be among the first people who register and then probably will be considered to be part of that. Other than that, if you wait till 18th of August, which is the deadline for registration as community reviewer, you might not be given the opportunity or chance. So please take note of that. As Mustafa walk us through the roadmap of Fan 14, we'll get to know more about these key days that are in Fan 14. So
Thank you, Prof, for running us through the new updates or some new changes that have been introduced, as well as the categories that are available. I hope we got that information. So we are just 5 minutes away to the hour, and let's just look at the timelines. Announcement was made, and the fund was officially launched on July 23rd. So in the week of Monday, July 28th, we expect the portals to be open for proposal submissions to commence. And then you will have that from right until 28th to 18th August for submission window to be closed. Mind you, there's still what we call the the reps action, because the reps are here to vote on the treasury and give approvals for Qatar.
It's my break. It's my break.
That's why they are making this launch available for people to submit proposals, so that you have nearly a month with your ideas, and then same period, July 28th, August 18th, you'll be able to register as a reviewer. And let's take keynotes. Let's be always visiting our Cardano Ghana platforms. We have a channel, the Telegram channel, as well as WhatsApp group. Those of you who are on the WhatsApp group, I'm sure Usman is here, so you too. We'll share the WhatsApp group. If you think WhatsApp works very well with you in terms of your conversations, join the WhatsApp. If Telegram works well for you, then stay on the Telegram too, as well as our Cardano Ghana Twitter handles that will be sharing. So from August 22 to September 19, by then, proposal submission will be closed and the community review will kickstart. So you have the chance, once you are accepted as a community reviewer, to then review proposals based on the criteria that were stated. For the newbies that are coming here, hopefully this session will not end. We'll have subsequent sessions to walk us through on each of the stages or each of these roadmaps, so that we can fully be abreast with the processes and participate actively to make Cardano better and get our rewards. So I'm sure we'll have a session on community review processes for the newbies or the newcomers that are here. And of course, some of the new changes that have been made, so that we can get the process and the system well understood before we can make our inputs or work very well. Then the voting period from September. So when community review stages have come to a halt or stop, the voting period will step in, and that's the next stage of the governance process. People will decide on ideas on which projects deserve funding, and based on that, all the voting power, the tallying, and the quadratic voting mechanism will also be in place, so that it can make sure that we'll have a fair and free and fair and also a just voting mechanism to decide which projects get funding in 2014. Then by October 6th, voting results will be published, and everyone will know that this and that projects received the needed endorsement from the community to come to life. Then around October, November, projects towards the end of the year, projects will be onboarded. And of course, maybe by December, the community can pause, retreat, and then people will start, projects that have been onboarded will start putting out their milestones and their timelines to start execution. Community reviewers, that's where most of us are interested. Registration start as indicated, July 28th. In that week, we expect that to start August 18th by 6 a.m. UTC. This time around, let's pay attention, 6 a.m. Previously, it was usually 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., but now it's 6 a.m. UTC Ghana. So, 6 a.m. is very early to us. It means that if you shouldn't have that hopes of next day, you still have the next day. Yes, it's next day, all right, but very early on the next day for us here in Ghana. So previously it was 10 a.m., 11 a.m. UTC. You could just still get some few minutes, maybe from work or when you wake up and finish your morning stuff. You can still do something. But this time around 6 a.m. And so if you are someone who sleeps a lot or who sleeps immediately after dawn, you may miss some of this timeline. So let's pay attention to that. Now, August 22nd to September 5th, reviewer period. So level 0 and level 1 will do their work as reviews, and then moderation will step in. Of course, level 2 will also review, but from September 10th to September 17th, we expect that the moderation starts. And right now, as already indicated, the catalyst voices will come to play, and so idea scale will no longer be in place in terms of this funding round. All the review activities should move on to the milestone model or the community reviewer model for us to do our work. So after that, by around October 21, the data aggregator file will be released, and everyone will know the reviews that have taken place, and then also some of the flagging that have been done by the moderators, and some of the threshold acceptance threshold will be indicated in that aggregator file. And so this will be public. Once you are participating in this, make sure that the emails you provide. That's why usually there are forms, and you have to always read through the terms and conditions. Those of us who have privacy issues and confidentiality issues, most of the work that you are doing will be public. And so let's be mindful of our comments. Let's be mindful of our criticisms, what we say to each other's ideas, because this is a place of learning and growing. No one is an island of knowledge, or no one has that of knowledge. We are all going to learn from each other. That's why the review process is necessary. So after all this data, the process around November. So you'll be rewarded based on the schedule that we shared earlier.
Your voice is going down, Mustafa.
But that's
Oh.
Then I was just around the review rewards. Do you get that?
Okay, now you can get it clear.
Yeah, so I was saying after the data release, we'll have the rewards sharing around November. And this is the voters timeline. Around July 30, the new voter registration will start. So there's also going to be a new voter registration. Previously, we used to have the Catalyst Voter app where you go and then you sign up with your QR code or your PIN. But this time around, let's be on that. Let's look out for the registration processes.
Your mic is far away, Mustafa.
Okay, then let me bring it closer to my voices. How is it now?
Oh, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Maybe it's better now. Yeah, so around September 6th around September 6th, we'll have the voting power snapshot.
Seems that the volume is down, very down. We can't hear.
Indeed, very, very down. I think you have now inserted a microphone or earpiece. At first, it was better.
I've been using that same microphone.
Wow.
It could just be the internet. Sometimes, when the internet is not that, the bandwidth is low.
Now it's
it
clear.
Can affect. If the bandwidth is low, it can affect the sound. But I'm saying that, so after registration starts, all the voters, if you want to participate in voting, you should have that 25 minimum of 25 ADA in your wallet. Please, let's take note before you can vote, because once you hold the ADA, that's your voter ID for you to decide which project gets funding, just like we vote in a normal democratic elections. And so it's the committee or the team will do the snapshot, and that's when we have the eligible voters. That's a snapshot. So all those who have been able to register before this deadline, before September 6th, the snapshot will be done, and all the voting power, every wallet that have registered with its amount of ADA will represent, or will have their voting power being captured by the team, and that will allow you to vote on projects. So from September 22nd to October 6th will be the voting period. You use the voting app or whichever platform we are going to use to vote. And I'm sure this is now going to be on-chain. Of course, earlier on it was already on-chain, but there will be more an advancement into the voting period. So the voting will be done and the results will be published around October 6th. Then the voters will also get their rewards for voting. You get their rewards for voting. And so this is also the timeline for the voters. This is the Fund 14 guide, the Fund 14 launch guide. You can scan the QR displayed. Of course, with this slide and then the general Catalyst slide can be shared with you. And then you can read through the guide to better understand the processes, because everything deals with rules and regulations. And if you don't get yourself abreast with some of these rules, you can end up wasting your efforts and your time. So thank you very much for listening. What's this? This is the Catalyst Horizons annual report. So take a look at it and see where Africa is, how Africa and even of course Ghana has been making strides in terms of Project Catalyst. In fact, we've done quite a very good job there. If you take a look at the report, you will see that in Africa, Ghana has done a lot of work with regards to executing projects in different categories in the Catalyst ecosystem. Yeah, there's an interactive map that you can go and just hover around the map and look at some of the regions and the continents and the number of projects that have been executed so far. from Europe to Asia to Africa to America. And so take a look at the interactive map, projectcatalyst.io/global-map. You can play with the map, get abreast with the numbers. So, Prof.
So this is
stay in touch. Thank you.
To connect with the main Catalyst platform on X. You could get Catalyst on X. You scan this QR code and get it on Telegram or on email. That is the Catalyst newsletter. You get that one, as well as Discord and then LinkedIn. Now that we are moving to on-chain, they have also make some disclaimer. They have also make some disclaimer. I think we have to share with you about our emails. The emails will not be on-chain. So please take note of that. So if you want to, because if it's on-chain, while the project.io is open source, people could get access to your email. So they have made that disclaimer. Catalyst, I think they pay much attention to our data. Mustafa will comment on that. They pay much attention to our data. So they ensure that our information will not be exposed or will not be given to people without our permission. So the data, our emails will be off-chain, but all our details will be on-chain so that the rest assured your information will not be shared without your consent. So now, as Mustafa may mentioned, among the key changes that we are now also happening is that Catalyst Town Hall, which used to be 5 p.m. UTC, is now 3 p.m. Henceforth, so try your possible best and take note of this. Going forward, moving from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now also we are moving back to from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. If you are someone who have not joined the Catalyst weekly town hall, try your possible best and go register and let's meet there. This is where you get the opportunity to connect with a lot of people, most especially after town hall breakout rooms. That is where you get the network. That's where you get to share your history, your profile, your proposal with others. That is where you can build and then connect with very well. So I think this is where our slides will end. We'll now open the floor for questions. Very important. If you are here since the beginning or wherever you join us and you want to get some clarification or anything about either Catalyst or Fund 14 or the previous fund, you have any concern, we are available and the platform is now open. Just raise your hand and then we are happy to listen to you. I think I have to just stop sharing now. So the first hand is from Abdulrazak. Let's listen to you, Abdul. Please make it brief.
I just want to start by saying thank you guys so much for always taking up the mandate to educate and carry us along with the ecosystem. But then I want you to kindly try to, when you were talking about submitting of proposals, you mentioned always you have to make sure that your KPI is clear. I'm considering that there are some newbies among us. They might not know what KPIs mean. So I thought maybe you can explain to them what KPI means.
Okay. So I tell you before Mustafa comes to do that, they are project managers. They have done it once, not twice, not two. KPIs from my research means like key measure indicators. So something that probably someone could just look and see that we have to really deliver what we said we are going to deliver. If you say that we are going to organize an event, one of the KPI could be that a live stream of that event is going to be one of the KPIs, so that you are going to live stream the event from the beginning to the end, and then later share the link to the event so that people can measure whether you really do the event or not. You could also say that if you want to say that you are going to probably promote Cardano in an institution, one of the KPIs could be that evidence of booking venue, evidence of probably a group picture of the events, and then maybe testimony given by participants. You arrange all this and then group it in a file and share that as an evidence of your project. So I think Mustafa will comment if there's anything to add to what KPI means.
Yeah, that's just what you've said, bro. KPI, I would just add that it's not just only the outcomes, as you indicated. It also deals with the impact. So or key performance indicators or key measurable KMIs. So you talk about the outcomes. At the end of the day, what your project seeks to achieve, that represents your KPI. But what's the impact? If you want to educate 20 people at an event, so 20 people have been educated on Cardano, that'll be your key performance indicator. But what will be the impact of that if you have educated 20 people? So at the end of the day, have these 20 people been able to perform any roles on Catalyst? Have they also educated others? Have they proposed? Have they reviewed? So that's the impact. Today, we are measuring Cardano Ghana impact. I'm using some of you as key examples from being onboarding you as newbies, and today most of you are reviewers. Most of it. That's the impact of why Cardano Ghana exists. And so basically, that's the KPI. But now I think the proposal model is the milestones model. So the emphasis is on the milestone statements, because in designing your milestone statement, you have to indicate what you seek to achieve. So you put the milestone title and then you explain it. And so you can still even have KPIs under your milestone statements.
Right.
It's very important. Thanks for asking that. Maybe that this will help those who intend to propose.
Yeah, as you also may mention that we'll be having a bit session on the various timelines. Maybe when once proposal submission is open, we will start with proposal. If you have an idea and you want to share or discuss with us, so that we also add some comments to that, we'll have a session. You could tell us what your idea, what you want to propose. Mustafa, you may mention that, or you remember that some of our committee members will go and submit in the wrong category.
Yeah.
So also guide me if you have an idea and you want to submit it in this category, we'll look at it and say that, oh yes, it is really fit in that category. So please take note from Monday going.
The
We'll have it.
exciting thing about Catalyst is that it's very, very easy, let me say, that comparable to other blockchain grant platforms. The Catalyst grant platform is very easy to just play with, very user friendly. They give you the template, the proposal template to use, and all the sections in the templates are explained. Once you come to, let's say, proposal title, they explain to you maximum of let's say 200 words or 200 characters. You get that guide to guide you to title your proposal, put the problem statement, put the solution, and then you expand it. So and they give you templates. Other chains, in fact, if you don't have basic coding skills, you cannot participate, because everything is on chain. You have to go onto the blockchain to participate. You have to integrate. You need to launch a lot of tools on your platform. But most of us here are not even web developers, are not even software developers, and we can seamlessly go through some of these processes, unlike other chains. So there's a balanced way of doing things with Catalyst. Because they want to have everyone on board. Either you are the tech or the non-tech guy, you can have a role to play. And that's
Right.
what makes Catalyst actually stand out.
Yeah. Right. So I think if your question is answered, we'll proceed to the next question. So as we mentioned, probably we'll have maybe next week's session will be on proposing or proposals. If you have an idea, you come and share with us. We also share the idea that we have. We will definitely probably will not have conflicting ideas submitting in one category. We could come together as consortium or groups or teams and then get it done. Very important. So next week, watch out if the session is coming on. So if there's any other question, we are open for you.
Yeah.
Questions from the presentation or coming from the new Catalyst changes or previous changes, anything that you observe, you want to raise, we are here to listen to you. Okay.
This recording will be published on our Cardano Ghana YouTube channel.
Yes.
As well as shared. And tomorrow evening, we expect to have the other session. If you are free to come again, feel free to join. But because we did a poll before scheduling this, and some actually showed that they'll be available tomorrow.
So maybe I don't know if I think we are all okay with the information shared today. If there's no other question, but I will just prepare ourselves for tomorrow and then next week. It doesn't mean that you have to be a proposer. You can be a committee reviewer. If you're not also committee reviewer, I think one thing we also have to stress on is the voting. I think some of us has the 25 feeder, but we always feel relaxed to participate in voting, and then we learn by doing. So let's try our possible best and then get to pass through all these phases. If you from the submission to review to moderation to voting, this makes the ecosystem more decentralized. You shouldn't leave the decision to one section of people in the ecosystem to decide which proposal should get funded. Even if the 25 ADA that you are using, that's your voting power. You can use that one to make minds, to ask people to questions and all those things. But if you're not participating in vote as a voter, something that discourage decentralization or make decentralization very weak. And then another comment I want to also add is that probably just made it clear that Cardano is now decentralized, but that doesn't mean that there's no leadership. What it means is that we have the power to choose, then we also have the power and then the opportunity to fire them. Let's just put it that way. So please, what this means that the Catalyst team, let's be somehow the moderate how we anytime we have an issue, that's why we are here. We could link to us if we are not able to solve we could also reach out to them and then probably things will get clarified. We are free to communicate with them. We are free to tag them, to chat with them. But let's try our possible because of the image that we have. If we realize Ghanaians are this, Ghanaians are that, probably it's not something that sells us. We know how our friends are affected global. I mean, Nigeria. Nigerians are affected global just due to one or two actions that some people have got not being able to sell their country to. So let's try our possible to defend this image. Once Ghana is here, we are not here for ourselves. Tomorrow we might not be the people around in Cardano. But Ghana will be still be there. Our brothers will also come to join. Our generation will also come to join. And Catalyst has been around since 2017. Mustafa mentioned the third generation blockchain. The fourth one is also coming midnight. So if Ghana is able to measure our impact very well, midnight coming, opportunity will be available. I think in Africa, Ghana is one of the countries with the highest Cardano ambassadors, right? I think Jeremiah and then the brother are also ambassadors as well. Mustafa, three ambassadors, if I'm not mistaken, or four. So please, let's try to always protect the image of Ghana. Once we are in these global platforms, in terms of communication or reaction to anything that pop up, and also be patient. No one will take your rewards. No one will prevent you from what is due you. Let's always try our possible best and then communicate and network with these people. Yes.
Yeah, and I just want to add that we have a very big hopes in terms of crypto and blockchain in Ghana. As most of you might have heard from the finance minister during his media budget review. This was disclosed that the government of Ghana is now trying to license crypto operation in Ghana as well as blockchain. And that's a very big milestone for us as educators and as for believers of blockchain. I think I said this during our recent ambassador course last Thursday, and everyone were very excited because it means that Ghana, this new government, is actually taking the step, a bold step. It's a bold step in terms of making sure that we'll have that the authenticity and the legality to operate, and that even will inspire our work now as educators or promoters, because there are times you may want to go to institutions and you get setbacks because of that misconceptions and lack of legalities around it. And I'm sure this time around we will have that, because once this license, we get licenses and we get regulations to operate, we can freely move around, we can freely educate people, and that will even help to attract more people into the ecosystem. So in fact, it's a good step. There are actually hopes for us in terms of Ghana. And so let's keep the pace and let's continue to do our individual strides in terms of making blockchain and not just Ghana.
Right.
But when blockchain entirely is embraced, that's when we can do a lot. Yes, please.
Right. So it's 20 minutes on top of the hour. We've been around when we started recording.
That's just like 1 hour.
Yes, that's just 1 hour. So please, you're also free to join us tomorrow night, tomorrow evening to see if you want, or if you have the time, so that we get that one also done. Probably you might have a question you are unable to ask here. We'll be around to support one another to get on board to this new Catalyst platform. So please stay tuned and then get your thoughts, your ideas, rigging so I'll get this done. So we just thank all of you for showing up. Bye.